Namaste yogis and movers, this is Stephen from YogaWorks, and today we're going to be doing a little hip tune-up. A tune-up is used by car mechanics when they refer to fine-tuning the engine so that it works at its most efficient state. And if we have one engine in the human body, I would say it's definitely the hips. So we are going to fine-tune our engine for movement with this quick little sequence. You could say the yogis traditionally use the sun salutation to warm up all parts of the body. This one is like a sun salutation, but more specifically for the hips. And we'll be using a couple of different movements. First of all, what I like to do is just start in a squat. And this is a great way to assess how your hips are doing. Maybe you just got up. Maybe you're doing this after a long day at work. Maybe you've done some exercise, maybe you're warming up to do some sports. All of this is fine. And this gives you a quick indication of how the hips are doing. And there's no need to just sit statically in the pose. It's actually better to move around a little bit, I find. So I like to just shift my weight from one foot to the other and just see how that feels. If your squat looks more like this, that's fine. If your feet are closer together, that's fine. If they are wider apart, that's fine. So just do your squat however it is possible for you at this moment, and that's just fine. So don't worry about little details like this. So we're moving around. If your heel lifts as you're moving a little bit to the side, there's no problem with that either. And just get in there and observe. We'll do this pose again at the end to reassess the effect. And then just turn to the one side and step. I'm starting with left foot, but you can also do the other foot first, doesn't really matter. And then just move around from side to side. Just inviting a bit of challenge and movement for the hip joints, both of them actually, the left one and the right. And just see where does your body like to go, where are there maybe a bit of restrictions at the moment, that's also fine. And then a couple of times just lower the back knee and lift it back up. Lower and lift. And just feel how that quad is turning on to straighten the knee against the resistance of gravity. Just a bit of space in the front of that leg. Next time your knee comes down, keep it down for a moment. And first, walk your hands away from the left knee. So walk them diagonally over to the other side. If you have space to lower the one elbow down, that's fine. And then with the other hand, reach extra far and then just get in there. A couple of breaths here to observe, and also the smoother the breath is, the more your body's going to let you in by relaxing all the muscles and the nervous system. And then walk your hands to the opposite side and just turn a little bit over the left knee. I like to push one hand down on that front knee and then just look over your left shoulder. And then just for a moment, if you like to, you can hold that back foot to get into a bit of a deeper quad stretch. You can still move around, maybe forward and back, maybe side to side. Or if it feels better to just stay still for a moment, that's also good. Release the back foot, and now we'll turn our attention to this front hamstring by just moving in and out a couple of times. Don't worry if this leg straightens all the way or not, but just we want to get into a bit of a tension in that left hamstring. Don't keep the foot limp, also lift the toes up, so you're getting a little bit into your calf muscles as well as you lift up. And if you want to, you can even tuck chin to your chest as you move the hips back. So we're getting a long stretch on the whole back body when we do this. Nice. Now walk your left foot a bit to the middle of the mat and come onto the outside edge, so it means you're letting your left knee drop open to the left. Wherever it ends up, it's fine. And again, move around a couple of times. Just noodle around and observe how this feels. Now we've added the external rotation in this front leg. And like we've done before, walk your hands diagonally away to the opposite side, away from your front knee. Take a deeper breath here, relax as best as you can. And then turn back to look over this left knee while staying on the outside of the foot. So we're staying in the external rotation. Nice. Walk your hands to the center and then just really simple. Turn the toes out a little bit, stay wide with the legs, and just walk your hands to your right foot and back to your left. And then you're bending the knee you're walking towards. You're straightening the other leg you're walking away from. And it's a really nice way to get into the inner thighs, the adductors a little bit more. We want to do the whole circumference of the hips and not just one side. Next time you walk towards your right foot, stay there. Come into the high lunge again, adjust your feet if you need to, and again just move around. Might be a whole different story on the second side. That's definitely my experience. And just see how the hips feel in this position. If you get a little bit of maneuvering space into them, while staying nice and calm, so the breath is calm, the mind is resting in the body. And a couple of times lower and lift the back knee. Lowering down and lift, just feel the action of that left quad. Working, especially as you lift the knee back up. That quad it's under stretch, but it's also contracting to straighten your knee. Next time the knee is down, keep it down, walk the hands diagonal to the left side, so away from that front knee. Maybe the one elbow comes down, that's fine, or you're going to stay on the hands. I like to reach extra far away with this right hand, so you get a nice side stretch all the way from that right hip to your right fingertips. And then turn over the right knee. You can just have your right hand on the right knee to support you a bit. Look back at your back foot. Or if it feels good, you can hold it for a moment to increase the stretch. Maybe moving, it's a bit of a dynamic stretch. We're not just passively holding a pose. Nothing wrong with that, but our intention is a little bit different today. Maybe moving side to side. And you could do the same even without holding this back foot. It's not essential at all. Release that if you're holding the foot, and then move forward and back a few times, getting into this right hamstring this time. Every time your foot lifts, pull the toes up towards your shin. You're stretching all the tissues at the back of that leg. And you can even add the spine, slightly round the spine and tuck chin to chest, if you'd like to. Couple of rounds of breath, nice and smooth. Keep it simple and easy. And then next time your knee bends, keep it there. Wiggle the right foot a bit to the middle and let the right knee drop open to the side. It's a bit like pigeon pose, but a way more active version. Again, noodle around, see what you find. How's that external rotation in that right hip? How's the back leg? And let's go on the diagonal again. Try to keep that right knee moving out as best as you can. Stretch and relax. Walk back to center. Turn to look over the right knee towards the back foot, just adding a little bit of a twist in the spine. And all of this is just to hit the stretch in the hips at slightly different angles each time, so we get a complete picture. Nice. Move front or side to side rather, again a couple of times. Just waving to the right, waving to the left, and then the leg straightens as you move away from it. Next time you come to the right, sink in for a moment, so we're squatting inside that right leg and let the left leg straighten. So either you're here, or you might need to lift that right heel up to have enough space to get in there, that's fine. Just check it out. And then what's really nice here is to roll the left foot in and out a few times. In and out. And try not to let the movement just come from the foot, but actually the whole leg is rotating in its hip socket here. Nice. Move to the left. Straighten out the right leg. Either do this with your heel on the ground, but it requires quite a lot of mobility, especially in the adductors. Not always easy for me, so I'm lifting that heel up and I'm rotating the right leg in and out. In and out. And then finally, let's come back to the squat, just how we started. And check it out. Is it the same? Has it improved? Does it feel a little bit more accessible? Do you feel a little bit more powered up and agile? Which is the whole intention of our little session here. I hope you enjoyed. This is a good one to come back to, even on a daily basis, in the morning, in the evening, doesn't really matter. And I hope to see you here again soon. Thank you for practicing.